Hey there, I'm CJ Maurer with The Gist, and today I am going to show you the brand new HubSpot form editor. So if you look at my screen right here, you see a form, and this is the legacy editor. So before we understand the new editor, I want to make sure we have a frame of reference for how forms are traditionally configured in HubSpot. This is pretty simple. You have all of the properties that you want to pull from in the left, and then how the form is formatted, right? So if I'm going to have properties here and I want somebody to fill out annual revenue, I'm going to drag it in right here, wherever I want it. I'm going to decide if this is required or not. And then also what I can do is I can click into this field and I can overwrite the label. So I could say, like, what is your company's annual revenue? It still will save to the core annual revenue property. And there's lots of other cool things that you can do. So for example, if I want to build some logic, so let's say this HubSpot objectives property, if somebody says customer engagement, then I want to show a field, like a follow-up field, that if they answer that, then okay, well, I want to ask this, but if they answer this, then I want to ask that, right? I'm going to hit update and I'm going to publish this form. And then you have lots of options, right? You can embed this on a website, both a HubSpot website or an external website. You can just share the link, and you have a couple of other options. In fact, here's an example of a contact form on our contact page. We actually use a pop-up form, right? Normally you may see these forms embedded on website pages, but there's lots of cool things that you can do. Okay, forms are very, very critical for not only generating leads into your CRM, obviously, but also like adhering to standards about how we gather and organize data. We created a different video about the different types of forms that you should create, right? You want top of the funnel, maybe subscribe forms. You want bottom of the funnel, like going to assign this to a sales rep forms. You may have customer onboarding forms, right? So by defining the different types of forms you have and their functions, you can set standards for what fields should be required on those different types of forms, what lifecycle stages are set on contacts when they submit those forms, who they get assigned to, so on and so forth. So definitely, search our channel for that video because I go much deeper into that. All right, now I'm going to build a new form using the new editor. So when I click create form, I'm actually going to go to the form editor, not the legacy form editor. And then I'm going to hit next. And once again, just like with emails and lots of other content tools within HubSpot, you have a lot of pre-built templates, but you can start from scratch, which is awesome. So I'm going to start from blank. One of my favorite functions of the new form editor is how you can build things out in phases, right? A lot of marketers are familiar with the notion that the art and science behind how do you customize your form? You want to have more fields to collect more data on these leads, because the more data you collect, the more you can segment them into different lists and customize follow-ups. But you also don't want to make the forms too long where somebody drops off. If forms are too long, that might cause a visitor not to want to engage with it. We're not going to address that now, but one thing that is sure is when you actually break it into smaller steps, you increase the likelihood that people are actually going to convert. So right now I have this basic editor here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull from my properties and I'm going to add city right here. And this is the same as the legacy form editor. You have all of the same things. You can make it required. You can add your logic just like you could before. What I can also do is build new fields right on the fly. So if I want a number, right, I can add this and I can give it a label, hours of sleep per night. For me, this is lower during March Madness or when my wife and I have just welcomed one of our new children into the world. But hopefully you're around 7 or 8. Anyways, so all of this is pretty simple and straightforward. What you can also do is you can add steps at any point in time before or after. So what I can do is I can drag in an image and I can browse for my images. This is obviously not the right image to use here, but you get the idea. I can remove this field and I can kind of make this like a title section. In fact, let's exit and let's go back to some of the templates that are already built. So I'm going to go into the form editor. I'm going to hit next. let's do this event registration. This is pretty cool. Not only can you add different types of content, right? But you can actually customize these layouts, which is pretty awesome. You can style how this is. Do you want this, the content at the bottom, the left, or the right? You can adjust like the sizing. There's so many cool things that you can do. You can make this picture the same throughout. You can swap out different pictures at different steps. You can use a progress bar. So this is just like a super powerful way to guide people through converting whatever it is they're converting on. They're registering for an event or a webinar, or they're downloading a content offer, or they're applying to be part of your partner program, whatever it may be. It's just super cool, and I would encourage you to play around because there's just a treasure chest of ideas and customization. I don't really think there's much else to add to that. This is really up to you in terms of how it fits for your business and how you want to use this. What I can say though is that when you use the new form editor, one, you have much more control over the branding, the style, and the customizations, which is always good. Two, if you do it right, you're much more likely to have a higher conversion rate when you break out longer forms into shorter steps. And three, you're just going to have a lot more customizations on what data is captured, how it's organized, and you'll find more use cases for using forms inside HubSpot that you maybe wouldn't otherwise have. So that's the new form editor. I would encourage you to use it. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe to our channel. It helps make sure that more people like you can see our content. We love making it. And also, if you have any questions about this video, or you want to submit an idea for another video for us to make, click the link in the description. It will take you to a form, shocker, and we will review every single submission, and many of the videos we've made have come from submissions from viewers just like you. So once again, I'm CJ Maurer with The Gist, certified HubSpot solutions partner. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you soon.